Welcome everybody, my name is Jerry. Today we are going to talk about one of the most difficult oils in the world to distill. And one of the toughest oils you're ever going to come across. Now we're not talking about petroleum oils that you get out of the ground that fuel our cars and our trains and our planes. No, we're not talking about that. We're talking about botanical oils, oils that come from plants, otherwise known as usually known as essential oils. Okay. Today we're going to talk about one of the toughest oils to distill and the reasons why that is. And we're going to give you a rare insight. Actually, this industry is, I wouldn't call it a secret, but it's not a very well-known industry, this particular type of oil. And it's called Texas cedarwood crude or Texas cedarwood oil. Okay, now there are plenty of cedarwood oils, and there are plenty of people who go out and you'll see them tear off little branches and they'll get the and kind of what we call the green parts of the branches, usually with the berries are on the end, and they'll go and distill that, and they think they're distilling a cedarwood oil, and they are, but they're not distilling the oil that's actually in the wood. They're just getting it from the branches. Okay? And in the Texas cedarwood oil industry, the oil comes from the actual wood, not from the little green branches. In fact, we don't even distill that part of the tree. We don't distill anything green. Okay? This industry is, like I said, almost a secret industry. There are very few people in the world that actually work in the distillation process of Texas cedarwood oil, both in getting the crude and a finished product. I'll even take it one step further. There are very, very few people in the world that actually know how to distill Texas cedarwood crude into a distilled product. I bet you could count those people. There's probably less than 24 people in the world that actually know how to really do that on a commercial or industrial size equipment. Now the picture you're seeing in front of you doesn't look like much, but this is actually a small still that we were able to replicate that process on a very small footprint. There's probably 5 people or less in the world that could distill this product on a small footprint, like in the picture you're seeing before me, or before you in the video here. Okay. So this isn't me sitting here patting ourselves on the back or trying to brag. The reason why very few people actually distill this product is because it's extremely difficult to distill. Okay. I won't even go into the details of how difficult it is to distill this product on industrial size equipment, let alone on a small footprint. So stick with me, because I'm going to show you a little insight. Not going to reveal too much, because there's some things about this that really can't be shared. It's a little bit proprietary on this small of a footprint. But I am going to share with you today some insight into how tough this oil really is. In my book, this is the toughest botanical or essential oil in the world. So stay tuned, because that's coming up right now. If anybody ever tells you that they know the toughest oil in the world, tell them about Texas cedarwood crude. Now look at that down there. You see that big ball of white goop? Yeah, that's crystallized Texas cedarwood crude. Now I just exposed it to that bottle of propane torch for 15 straight minutes. And it was only about a half a gallon from the bottom of the thermocouple to the bottom of the... This is a 6-inch diameter piece of tubing. You're talking about maybe not even a half a gallon, quarter gallon, half gallon below that thermocouple was heavy crude and crystallized Texas cedarwood crude. I drained it into that just aluminum dollar store 2 I layered up 2 aluminum dollar store roaster pans, got it really hot, and then drained it into that hole using that funnel while I was still with my welding gloves. Yeah, you got to be careful. Stuff is scorching hot. Okay. So let's take a closer look at that crystallization. Look at that crystallization. Look at that stuff. It looks like ice, doesn't it? Looks like a big ball of ice. But those are actual Texas cedarwood crude crystals. Look at those crystals down there. Now I want you to imagine for a moment that I'm torching on it with that. Not lying, 15 minutes with a high flame. And those crystals said, "Son, I got a lot out. I got about, more than half of it out." But then crystals said, "Son, is that all you got?" The toughest oil in the world. Got to be one of the toughest oils in the world. Stubborn as all heck. Just like many Texans. I love it. Don't let anybody ever tell you Texas is not rugged, because that oil right there proves otherwise. That's some rugged damn oil. I gotta hit it again on the other side now. You can tell I was hitting it on this side, right? Because look, it's all cleared out on this side. I was torching on this side. So now I'm gonna have to go in there and torch it on that side, on the back side by the heater element. Some of you may ask me, why didn't you just turn the heater element on? Well, you can't expose a heater element to air. It has to be covered in liquid. So if you want to ruin a heater element, just turn it on with no liquid. That'll ruin it right away. So yeah, now I got to turn this up. Let me tell you, it was scorching hot. Smoke was bellowing out of the top of this. The smoke was just pouring out of the top of there. So that's what it looks like when it's pouring out. There's a little bit pouring out right now. Anybody that's ever worked with Texas cedarwood oil, you know that aroma when it's hot. It's got that very strong aroma, like almost over woody. Yeah. I got more to go now. A little at a time here. So there's the smoke pouring off the top, right? That's how much heat was pouring into there. You just see the heat pouring off the top of that pot. So heating the bottom down there, where a little bit of the crystallization's left in the backside, not the top. Just pouring out smoke. Now, some of that would actually come up, would hit a condenser and get recondensed into a liquid. Believe it or not, some of that could be recondensed into oil, and that becomes a distilled product. But since there's no condenser at the top of this pot, we're actually losing some of the really light volatiles here. Pretty cool, right? Yeah, Texas cedarwood oil is probably one of the most difficult oils to distill in the world, far as botanical oil, right? No, I'm not talking about petroleum that we get from the ground that fuels our cars and trains and planes. I'm talking about essential oils, right? Oils that come from plants. One of the most difficult oils to distill. I won't even go into the depth of how difficult it is to distill this product. Okay, there are not a whole lot of people in the world who could do it. I mean that sincerely. That's not bragging. I'm just saying it's not easy. So, cool beans. Got a little bit more to go here. Drip, drip, drip. Drip, drip, drip. Oh my gosh, what a pain in the butt. Drip, drip, drip. Come on, baby. You can do it. See, it's still smoking in my face here. At this point, we're probably about as far as we're going to get down to getting that crude out of there. There's still some smoke pouring out the bottom of this, but There's still some crystals down there, but you can see it's been liquefied sitting in the drain. But there's crystals in the drain. Look at the drain. I mean, it's barely even. Let me see if I can get down here. This is barely dripping out. Right? Barely dripping. So that tells us there's crystals all up in that pipe there, that drain pipe up in there. Stuck up in there, right? It's crystallization sitting in the valve. But this is probably about as good as we're gonna get unless I just pour heat on that valve. Probably end up ruining the valve in the process, so. And that's fine. I may actually pour some heat on it later, but you can see there's still, I need to pour this in the barrel before it recrystallizes. It'll crystallize pretty quicker over the next few minutes because it's some really heavy stuff. So I need to get onto that and do it pretty quick here, but yeah. Let me see if I bump the pile, but yeah, see it shaking down there? Oh gosh, I'm coughing. That smoke is killing me. Not literally, of course. You can see it moving around down there, right? That oil is sitting down in that drain, but not willing to drain out of there. You got crystals sitting in the crystallization sitting in there still. But that's alright. It's as good as I'm going to get it for now. I think I'm just going to store it like that. I don't think I'm going to get much better than that unless, like I said, unless I pour a bunch of heat on it. I'm just going to cover up the top with some cardboard and tape it down so it doesn't get all dirty sitting in storage. Close up this valve right here. And we should be good. I can now take the thermocouple out without having to worry about it leaking all over the place.